Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, because
Say it. Why?
well, it's not in anymore. It's not in. So everyone
it's just not popular?
it's not
Wow.
popular. So everyone is removing their Botox fillers. So like Ariana Grande removed her lip fillers. A bunch of people removed all their lip fillers. So because the filler was going into different places in their face.
Oh.
So they were getting this thing called I think they called it marshmallow face or pillow face.
Pillow face.
And then that's when they all kind of look the same. You don't know. I don't know if you've never noticed how they all look the same, like the poofiness here.
Chrissy Teigen has it really bad.
Yeah,
her cheeks are getting huge. So what they used to say was, oh, you have to keep getting fillers because it dissolves.
Yeah.
Well, they did x-rays and they're seeing all the filler in the cheek.
Mm-hmm. It does
so
not dissolve.
it's not dissolving. It's
just
moving.
Yeah.
So how do they get it out?
I don't know.
I don't know that.
I
don't know
mean,
if you can you?
they probably can liposuction it. I don't know, but that's weird. Like when you start messing with the face.
Either
like,
way, your face is never going to look the same.
Probably not. No. So that's why they're taking it out now. They're like, holy shit. Like if I don't take this out, it's going to keep moving to different parts of my face and mess it up.
Yeah.
So yeah,
They all just don't look natural anymore. Like not like human. I don't know.
So didn't they get in trouble for that though? Like I feel like because that's always been like right. You've always heard that it dissolves, right? They have to keep doing it over and over.
Yeah.
But they literally lied. Like,
like maybe someone should be held
But then
for that.
who are you gonna?
I don't know.
Like there's a bunch of like everybody does it.
Yeah.
I guess it's like
a common procedure for
that's
so
your
long.
choice. Maybe they've known and it's in the fine print or some shit, you know?
Yeah. I mean, they sign all kinds of waivers or whatever whenever they do procedures anyways, so they can't, they probably can't sue or anything.
If your lips start to move across your face, it's not our problem anymore.
Yeah, maybe they.
I know. When you start messing with the face, that's scary.
Is your face your blueprint?
Like
Did you get Botox?
Even now, even with, I'll be like Clint Eastwood.
Because Botox is not like a bad thing, but you do have to keep up with it, you know?
Yeah, so it never ends.
Because I guess Botox is just paralyzing your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With what, a bacteria or a virus or some shit?
Botoxination or what is it? What is it called? What's
some
Botox
thing?
Botox is short for whatever.
I guess I could look it up. That's why I grabbed the computer.
Yeah, Botox is just a short word of the actual like whatever it is, the scientific word.
So while I guess I'm looking this up, welcome to Digital Cortex. My name's Randomstylez. That's ThicccWick.
Oh, it is.
Wait. Gotcha. I'm ThicccWick. That's Randomstylez, and special guest today.
Hi, I'm Crystal.
Is Crystal.
Yay! Clap.
Yeah. Orange.
There you go.
Thank you.
Got it right this time.
Stop it. Yeah. You guys are making me blush. Yeah.
She is blushing. Look at that.
That's just, I'm just naturally pink.
Oh, you're so cute when you blush.
Got her.
Just naturally this color.
So what was I looking up?
Botox. What's the actual
Botox
full word of Botoxination or something? I don't know. What is it? It's something like that. Don't do it.
The fudge.
Like I said.
Oh, it's gone. All right. No, I don't want the beans.
The full
Botox is what? So just keep saying it over. Okay, Wiki says, botulinum toxin.
That sounds scary.
Or botulinum neurotoxin.
Both
Which
of
doesn't
those
sound better.
Dude, yeah.
Both of those sound
Neurotoxin.
scary.
Well, it is a neurotoxin protein produced by the bacterium Clostridium botulinum and related species. So it comes from a bacteria. It's a toxin that comes from a bacteria that people stick in their face.
And
Also helps with migraines.
And it helps with migraines.
or sweating, right? You could do like if you sweat too much on your hands or something, right?
I did know that. You eject it like in the places where you sweat a lot.
The sweat glands or something like that. Because it's a neurotoxin. So it
that
just
makes sense.
I mean, what it's supposed to do is paralyze you anyway. So I guess.
Which is kind of weird. Like you just paralyzing your face, like.
So you don't have wrinkles.
Yeah. So your face isn't wrinkled.
And
Isn't that enough
okay?
reason or anything for that?
Everyone's okay with just paralyzing their face.
I mean, apparently.
Because if it makes you stay young.
I know, right?
I mean,
that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I think.
So you would do it?
No. Well, if I was rich, I would.
Oh, so if money wasn't an object,
if money was an object, yes, I would do it. But not right now. I would do it later on, probably like in my 40s.
Well, that's the thing too, because like younger girls are doing all this procedures.
Why would
right?
I do it?
Yeah.
Because well, I feel like it's different for men because like society doesn't give you guys crap about aging. They say like for you
look
guys
weathered.
For you guys aging, it looks better on you. Like the white hair and the white but
the
like
wrinkles.
But
we make it work.
Women have I didn't say that.
I thought you just did.
No.
Is that not what you just said?
I didn't say that. I said society.
Society says
it's
Girls
okay.
do. Girls like it. They're like, oh, I like his he looks older
but
now.
I'm not saying that some girls don't like it. I'm saying like
Do you like
society tells you not to like it.
Do you like a little
Do
bit
I
of
like
gray?
aging?
Yeah.
Like an older aged man.
I have noticed some things different about my face, and then it kind of makes me sad. Like I've noticed that my eyes are much more squintier, and then I noticed that here it's a lot like a little saggier, and I'm like, oh, my cheeks, they're not like
They're going down.
they're not. Yeah, they're going down.
I've noticed that too. Not for you, for me. For me. Let me clarify. Not you specifically.
No, it sounded like you're
for
like,
myself. I was thinking like in my own time, looking at the mirror and shit.
What the heck?
I have noticed myself.
yeah, Crystal, you have been
places,
getting older.
I have noticed it.
For men,
I didn't want to
least,
say anything.
receding hairline. Like I've got it pretty bad, because my dad's got a terrible fucking hairline.
Yeah, that's all genetics.
Is it going farther back?
It's starting to.
Yeah.
Like I don't
But
like
it's
to.
still maintaining, right? Because I felt like when I saw him, he still's got a pretty good amount of hair.
I mean, it's just deep. It goes like a big giant, like it's a fucking
Like a
McDonald's
Vegeta.
logo.
Oh, does he have the
Or
points?
yeah, like Vegeta.
He has the points that are
They're
going back?
rounded. I mean, it's like mine. I guess I could just show.
Well, you don't have. Well, okay, that's up to you.
I mean, might as well.
No, we're guys. We don't care about this stuff. I'm all yeah, I don't know what that's called. That's called something.
It's called
Widow's
I'm a Wall Street.
I thought Widow's Peak was
mongrel.
like right here.
Oh,
Like
I
this.
don't know.
This is Widow's Peak.
Yeah. Is that what it's called?
At one point,
Yeah,
Your
this
brother
one's
has
not
it.
as deep. We all do because
Yeah.
my dad gave it to us.
Yeah. Now that you pull your hair back like that, you look just like your brother. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, so I keep my hair long and sexy.
you got the Nicolas Cage, man. Nicolas Cage has that.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that is true.
I
Yeah.
got the Nick Cage
I still
going.
have
Nobody
a
had-
lot of hair.
Nobody cares about that. Nick don't care about it, man. He's been
He
rocking
never
that
cared
shit.
about it. I mean, think of him in what was that one? Con Air.
Con Air, yeah.
Con Air, man.
He's been rocking it forever.
Never seen them.
I didn't.
No?
Okay,
It's
got to
not.
add that to the list.
It's. I mean, you can watch it
Fucking
just to
90s
say.
classic.
Just to say you watched it, you can watch it, but it's not.
You don't need to watch it more than once.
Yeah, it's not like
You
the
just need to be able to say, yeah, I know what you're talking
I
about.
like his recent movies. They're really cool.
He's been doing some great shit.
Yeah, he has been doing
Yeah,
really
so
good.
We were talking about him 2 times ago.
No, yeah, last podcast
last
he's doing the
podcast,
show for.
He's
Nicolas Cage?
the Spider-Man noir.
Remember he was in Spider-Verse as the
Oh, he was the.
So he's
he
going to
was
do
the-
that live
black
action.
and white.
Oh, that's cool.
It's live action, so he's in the full suit. He's got a trench coat, a
Like
hat.
it's actually him.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's going to be
Oh.
on Amazon.
Yeah, it's going to be an Amazon
That's
show.
interesting. Like he's gonna. Like it's like his body, not cartoon. Like him.
Him,
Him, he's
Oh,
Live
standing on
action.
the
That is
car.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spider-Man noir. Isn't
I
that
don't
going
know.
to be cool?
I don't know if I love that, but
You
okay.
don't like old school
Like
style
think of a
noirs?
period A TV show.
Like, listen,
black and white.
It's not so much that I don't like the show idea. I don't know if I like him.
You just said you liked him.
I liked him in the
Spider-Man.
cartoon version.
So that same version, except I mean, you're gonna see him in a mask like majority of the time.
I know, but like I just picture like Nicolas Cage in my head. He's just a weirdo. He's just not like in a bad way, like a good weirdo. But still, I can't picture him like in his Spider-Man outfit.
Well, that's okay.
Spider-Man.
You don't have to picture him. They've already pictured him. There's photo evidence of him online in his costume.
They're doing it. They're doing it.
It's been done.
Okay.
I mean, it's happening. You either are watching it or not. You know.
I am gonna watch
So
it.
do you remember?
Complaining.
Do you remember Sin City? Remember how he was in the apartment and there's monologue and like it's black and white. I think they're gonna do stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's like raining.
I love
Sin
City.
Yeah, so I that's what I picture in my head. I think that's what they're doing, but we haven't seen any trailers or
it could
any
be
clips.
like Watchmen.
Yeah, like a darker,
like Rorschach.
Yeah. That was good. That was real gritty. It's like a gritty feel, like, and there's a lot of monologuing and like
something like that. I could
dark,
see that
dark scenes, and then he's like a detective, so he's trying to like fight crime, and he's not gonna have any web, right? He doesn't shoot web.
Traditionally, that I recall, there's been a couple versions of him. One version that shoots webs but can't swing. He just uses the webs to like
catch people,
hang down and catch people,
trip them or something.
Right. Like there's nowhere for him to swing a lot. He does more like lurking and shit. And then there is a version I've remember of him that he does not have any webs because he wouldn't be able to create them for his time, you know? So for him being Spider-Man as noir is that he is basically that old school noir detective. Like he looks at everything and he says, you know, the fucking monologuing and shit. We expect to hear that, you know? It was a night just like any other night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The clouds were up. The city was dark, crying for help. And I heard it. I answered that call. You know, that kind of bullshit.
Him just standing on the corner with his like legs crossed, like leaning on a pole.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm excited for it because I'm always down for anything Spider-Man that is going to be decent, you know? And I know Nick Cage is a great actor for what he is. Yes, he's kooky. But
he is.
You have to be. I mean, I'm kooky.
You are.
I mean,
but I think
I'm not public like Nick Cage about it, but I'm kooky.
He has to embody all these different characters, so he goes into so many different like mindsets.
Sometimes I think about that, man, all the time.
I was telling Steven, and I don't know if you have noticed this, but all these heartthrobs, people that were heartthrobs in the 90s, like actors, they're all coming out now at and acting in serial killer murder roles. Like they are the people that are doing the killing.
Yeah,
have you noticed
list,
that?
Right?
Yeah.
I haven't watched as much TV, so
you gotta fill in.
If you guys watch a lot of TV shows, yeah, you've probably seen that trend.
Well,
I guess as they age, right? They're aging into these characters,
which I think it's hilarious that they were like heartthrobs in the 90s, and now like they're serial killers, and I'm like, what? That's the only thing you could do. You could only do romance like movies in the 90s, 2000s, and then this now.
I think those are the roles available, and then that's what people want. Like they want to see the murder, crime. Like
I guess that's true. I do like true crime.
Like murder, only murders in the buildings. You know, Selena Gomez. You know,
that's right.
What's his name is in that? Paul Rudd is in that too. Like
he is.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen it. That's cool.
Yeah, it's actually a really popular show. I mean, I catch episodes here and there. I haven't seen them all, but Steve Martin, he's still a ridiculous actor. He's so funny.
They did well on that first season, I guess, and we never finished it. But from my understanding, they did well enough to grant another season, and then on top of that, it was become very popular. So they've had a lot of guest stars going on now.
Meryl Streep was on there.
Red carpet reveals and shit like that.
They're on the third season.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on season 3.
They're getting bigger budgets every time. Like, I guess the show is a fucking hit.
Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
Who else is? It's Steve Martin and who? Martin Short.
Yeah.
Martin Short too. Martin Short is so
He's great.
funny, dude.
And it's great to see him in something. It's been a while, I think. You know.
They're just so funny. Like they're witty. They're quick. Like everything is just like. And then they do like a whole play. Did you see that episode where they were trying to do a play?
No.
Oh,
because we didn't get that far. We're still on the first.
Meryl
I don't think we're gonna finish it.
I might just finish it then because I really do want to finish
No.
it. I enjoyed it.
If you watch the play episode, that's like right up your alley because they're just like going back and forth. They're trying to create this play in the apartment, so they have everybody lined up, and then Steve Martin and Martin Short, or actually Martin Short is trying to direct them, and then Meryl Streep is there, and it's just like, yeah, it's funny. They're all funny, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess as they have to take these roles for whatever the shows that are available.
I guess, yeah, that's
that
true.
are out there right now. So I mean, there's so much TV content that they could literally.
That's the other thing, though. Going back to aging, men get roles when they're older, but women, all we get casted as is grandmas and moms and
the
like
crazy
now,
aunt.
yeah, and like now because and it changes based on your age.
Yeah.
So if you're like in your 30s, okay, you're the mom now. If you're in your 40s or 50s, okay, you're a grandma.
Yeah.
And like, and that's pretty much all like women get. And I'm not saying all the time, but mostly I feel like.
I think it's gotten better.
No, you're totally right. I mean, think about who was it recently? Freaking shit, child star.
Yeah.
Went
Another hint. Give me another hint.
Fuck.
Justin Bieber.
I was not picturing that.
He said child star.
It was someone.
Hillary Duff.
No. But around that era,
Lindsay
I wanna
Lohan.
say, it might have been Lindsay Lohan.
Okay, she's coming.
Who
She's
did
coming back, right?
Okay, you might know if I tell you about it, but I should probably start with that. But it was one of these child stars that played a grandma in a Lifetime movie, and people were like, "What? How could they play a grandma?" And then they like did the math, and we're like, "Well, I guess she technically could be a grandma."
Yeah. You just don't think of them like that.
No, but I forgot who it was. Do you don't remember?
Which show?
It was a Lifetime movie. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, there's a
Well, it was
billion
stupid.
of those Lifetime movies.
We were
And-
watching a Lifetime movie?
No, I saw like just a trailer for it and stuff,
Oh,
and people
okay.
were making a big deal because the name was big, right? Or it used to be, and then they fell from grace, type of thing, and then this is what
Another
they're
grandma.
in the Let me
I
see
don't know
I
if this
can-
was real or if it was Photoshop, but have you seen the Olsen twins? Like what they look like now?
I haven't seen them in a bit.
I think they've
But
aged.
they've got a lot of surgery done.
Yeah, they look like they've aged a lot. Because like somebody was comparing the Olsen twins with
Melissa Joan Hart.
Okay.
She's a grandma?
She played a grandma in
I
a
guess
Lifetime movie.
Yeah, I guess she is. Yeah.
You might remember from Melissa Explains It All.
Okay.
Sabrina.
Or Clarissa. Clarissa
And it's Sabrina, right?
explains it all, and Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah.
Well, now she's 47. Did a Lifetime movie, Would You Kill For Me, the Mary Bailey story. I don't know. Do you know who that is? Okay. Well, must not be a good one then. But she
Well, any
plays
Lifetime movie is probably not the best.
a grandma, and I don't know. People were all like, "What?" You know?
I think Lifetime is still above the Tubi movies, though. Have you seen any of those Tubi movies?
No.
We did watch one. Remember?
Wait, was
Weird.
that wasn't a Temu movie?
No,
That was
Tubi.
Tubi. I was gonna say Temu, like the app.
Tubi. Making movies now.
Sure they would.
Could be
They
coming out.
could. They could.
That's coming next.
No, it was a Hulu movie.
Oh, was it
Yeah.
Hulu? Which one was it? again?
Carved.
Oh, Carved.
I've only seen clips because people post the Tubi movies, and it's crazy, dude. They look like home movies. Like,
Fucking Tubi, man. Got to
it's
make
free?
that content
Yeah,
free.
it's free. It's free.
Tubi's
So
a poor man's Netflix.
They-
A really poor man's Netflix.
they have like problems with the props and they film it and they don't care. Like they just
That's
record
like-
it.
They're
Anyway.
like,
you know.
it's going on Tubi. Who cares?
It's free. You can't complain.
You get what you get.
So, you know, they talk about a AAA title and then like, you know, a B-rated title.
This is probably C.
It's probably in the CD
Yeah.
era.
Yeah.
You know, the person who was like, I don't need fucking film school. And then they really did need it.
So we could probably do
Not
a
for
Tubi
Tubi.
movie,
For me,
dude.
yeah, for definitely.
Let's make a Tubi movie, dude.
We can.
Yeah, we should
What
make
would
it.
you
Digital
make it
Cortex,
about?
the
I don't know.
movie.
I don't
It would
know.
just be about us
We've come up
trying
with
to
so
do
many
a
movie-
podcast.
We've come up with so many movie ideas on here. and
Oh, yeah, we
haven't
have.
written any of them down.
You should write it down.
We don't need to. They're all there. We just got to search through 87 videos to find them.
That's a lot. You guys should write them down.
89.
I know.
This is
We
89.
have some good ideas too.
Yeah.
Like, didn't I come up with the idea for a new Deadpool too? Like, because Deadpool
know.
every time. Remember how he's going and he's trying to kill himself in the second one. Remember he keeps dying and dying and
Yeah.
dying.
Yeah, so you can see this.
So you see him flipping through.
Yeah.
He's going to hell every time he does that, or he's going to purgatory or whatever you want to call the like unknown underworld or something like that.
Okay.
And he's visiting his girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
So this happens every single time he dies. So he's constantly visiting this place, and there's an actual witch, right? Or is she a witch or what is she?
Lady Death?
Yeah, Lady Death.
Lady Death, yeah.
So I was saying, like, instead of like, what if he was meeting Lady Death the whole time?
Don't they have a relationship at one point?
They're supposed to, yes.
Yeah. So
Okay.
like, maybe,
But also, something I learned recently, I didn't even know, is that character who played his girlfriend, her name is an official Marvel character.
yeah,
Who's supposed to have like powers eventually or some shit.
yeah. I forgot what the name is, but they do have a Marvel character for her.
She's still willing to do it, but they seem to have written away from that.
Yeah, it would have to probably be Ryan that brings it back or something. I
Mhm.
mean, whatever he says goes at this point.
I mean, at this point, it's whatever the fans want, and then they just say, yeah.
But he doesn't miss though.
No,
I mean,
he does not.
He buys a soccer team and they start winning. I mean, he buys a cell phone company and they start making billions.
So he sold his soul to who?
I mean, he buys the Aviator Gin, like a company that was just okay, and makes them a ton of money and then sells it. Like,
They have good gin though.
They do.
yeah. So I mean, everything that he does.
But I
turns to
feel
gold.
like in all of that, everything that he's done, like Mint Mobile and everything, the popularity for it all, he finds a service or something that he likes and he truly enjoys, and then he invests enough into it.
Well, his marketing, his
Mhm,
marketing
with his
is
marketing.
next level.
Yeah, that's what he's good at. He's a good
Yeah.
creator.
And the product works, whatever it is. Like, it doesn't have to be the best, but it's good.
He flips
Like,
the business, and he knows what the people like.
Yeah, and I
want.
trust him.
Yeah,
I
but
feel-
he built.
Yeah.
that.
I feel like
trust him.
I
He
would just
builds
buy
that,
whatever
like
he wants.
as an honest person and shit. You know.
Yeah, so now he's saying he wants Blade to have another movie.
Of course.
So whatever he says they're going to do, and because he'll probably be in it or he'll make an appearance or something. So he'll help the movie, and then he wants to do that. What is it? The heck, I can't think of the guy's name. The Channing Tatum played.
Oh.
What's
Oh
his
my
name?
I know.
god.
Cards.
Card man, Gambit.
No, Gambit.
Gambit.
Yeah, so
Yes.
you want-
I
you-
loved him.
You liked it when he showed
Yeah, I
up.
feel like
He's
a
one
lot
of
of
your
people didn't
favorites,
like.
right?
Yeah, he's my favorite. I feel like a lot of people
He
didn't
was
like
good.
him, and I loved it.
I thought he was perfect.
Yeah, he was so
I
good.
saw
There was
him-
so much heart in that role. You know?
I saw him on either David Letterman or Jay Leno like years ago. This is probably like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And he was talking about Gambit. And he was
Yeah.
like, I grew up close to Louisiana. He goes, I know how to do it. And he started doing that whole accent.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's Gambit. That's perfect. So he was like, I can do it. And they wrote a script and everything, but then it got shelved and then they never did it.
Mm-hmm.
But now that Ryan brought it back and he put him in the movie, now it's like, okay. And then everybody's asking for the movie. So
Yeah.
'Cause he was great.
It's the same thing that they did when they did the what was it, the Flash one? When they had the Flash and all its alternate universe on the DC side of things, and they put the Nicolas Cage Superman in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they're acknowledging that something was there, and in some other universe it exists, and that's amazing. You know, like if we could find the universe where Nicolas Cage is Superman, I would love to just take a bucket of popcorn over on that side. You know.
It would have been an interesting movie. Tim Burton.
I know. Imagine that one got like fucking 3 sequels to it, and it started this whole thing. And then what Marvel is today is what DC is, and it's like a reverse now. Wouldn't that be fucking crazy?
I mean, Nicolas Cage is not stopping, so he could eventually still do Superman.
I guess it's true. You know, I mean,
an older Superman.
Why not?
There's
Yeah.
there's probably a
so
comic
many.
series out there.
So many where Superman's older and stuff in the future. I mean, he could play an older Superman with. I heard they're working on this Batman Beyond film. That's set in the future as well. Like a really old Bruce Wayne, probably in his hundreds.
Hundreds?
Well, maybe in the 80s or something. Like old enough to be on a cane and not being able to do much more than sit behind a desk.
I have seen him with the cane.
Yes,
and there's some cartoons too.
Yeah,
like
it was started off as a cartoon. I want to say an extension of the Batman animated series from like the 90s. And it was really good. It got its own little comic book run, and it became like a canon character. Like this is what's going to happen to Bruce Wayne towards the end of his life. He's got this whole other person that takes over Batman. And then we even had this big old fucking movie for it that told us that this character who ends up becoming Batman in the future, Terry McGinnis, it's no like coincidence that he was able to adapt to being Batman so quickly, because Amanda Waller, you guys remember her from like Suicide Squad and stuff, you know, the office lady who's like decides everything.
Oh yeah.
Well, she actually had found a lot of Bruce's DNA at different crime scenes over the years, and when his dad and mom were going to conceive, she had the egg replaced with one that was Bruce's DNA instead of the dad's.
That's so weird.
Like, I guess what they did is they replaced the semen or some shit in the dude.
That is weird.
It's so weird, right? But anyway, so he's
That
half
sounds
of Bruce's
non-consensual.
DNA and half of, you know, this other random lady, because they felt like that she said the city still needs a Batman, and then they were supposed to have someone go and murder his parents right in front of him so that they can recreate that for him.
Does it
But
really
that failed.
matter though? Because he is just a person.
Right. In her mind, she felt that none of the other people who have been trained under Bruce ever became that huge or that great as Bruce has, right? As Batman. And so she believed that it was his circumstances that really made him who he was. And that had to be like orphaned and then so on to go through that trauma. So she wanted to recreate that trauma.
Yeah, and you can't.
And she had the whole thing, and someone was hired to go and kill her. And it was another character, the Phantom something from a different animated movie. And they backed out like the last minute. Coincidentally, the dude's dad ended up dying anyway from something else. And so it was just his mom, and then they had another kid, right? So there's a younger brother. And he ends up getting attacked by a Joker gang, right? Joker's dead at this point. And
Joker has a kid too?
They have a gang. Joker doesn't have a kid. But there's a Joker gang out there, right? Who take what Joker was and think they can run the new Gotham or whatever.
Okay. So he's kind of like next in line. He wants to run things.
Well, yeah, there's no real, like, the Joker isn't there yet.
Yeah.
But I digress. The point is, he was running from them. He ends up at Bruce's manor all the way because he was, you know, on a motorcycle getting chased out of town from them. And as he was getting off or something, asking this guy for help, Bruce came out and with his cane just like totally fucked over these Joker dudes, sent them off running.
Yeah.
And so over that time, Terry started hanging out with Bruce and then slowly found that bat suit, took it over, and boom, bada bing. Because Bruce had created this crazy high-tech fucking suit so he can continue being Batman with his aging body. But it was too much strain on his heart to be in that suit. So he had to retire as Batman. Yeah, he like almost had a heart attack in the middle of a fight with someone. because that suit was too powerful and shit. So there you go. Then you got Terry McGinnis. He's the futuristic Batman, and spoiler alert, his brother becomes a Robin.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they just announced that they're going to do more Star Wars.
They're always going to do more Star Wars.
So
What are they doing now?
They're going to do a 10, 11, and 12.
Oh, you mean like continuation movies?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're going to hire the Deadpool director.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's pretty big for him.
He's done X-Men.
Yeah.
He's done Deadpool. I think he did one other Return of something. Not Return of the Jedi. What was the other? I don't know all three of the new names, but he worked on one of them. So, yeah, they're gonna hire him to do another trilogy.
That's pretty cool.
That's exciting.
They're never gonna stop.
No,
No.
sir.
It's gonna keep going forever.
I mean, they should explore some different. I mean, I thought Kylo Ren was cool. Did you think he was cool?
like
He
Kylo
was
Ren.
cool until he became a little bitch.
He was not a little
No.
bitch.
And then the stormtrooper just walks out of the room.
He was a good guy at the end. He
I know,
helped.
but he should have died like as a bad guy in the big bad guy or something.
I like that he was a good guy at the
I
end.
ain't like the whole twist on it.
No.
Mm.
I thought it was sweet.
And I think it wasn't even originally written like that. They changed it up.
Yeah, I think they
Like
were kind
midway.
of they're making it on the fly.
Yeah.
Because they had different directors for each movie, so each one was kind of interpreting it differently.
Mm-hmm.
So-
And it was a mess, and that's why a lot of people don't care for it.
That's why they're hiring this director for all three. Because they had different directors for all of these new three movies, and they weren't connected, and they kind of all just kind of made their own story and built on. But it didn't feel like a flow. Like you're
Right.
saying, you felt like they changed
Because you
things.
need someone who's keeping their vision going.
Well, that's what George Lucas did. He made
Exactly.
all three. He actually wrote all
six.
six, and then he did 4, 5, and 6.
And then he redid them several times to do more of his vision. People didn't like that.
Yeah. I mean, they did keep updating the movies too. As
That's what I mean. He did all those.
like they extended the bar scenes and added more characters. Remember, and they added
a lot more CGI. Replaced a lot of things with CGI and stuff.
Yeah,
Like they released more scenes from each movie.
through the years they would do like what they call it? Remastered. They would do
They would do a
remastered
remastered or a
with
re-release.
sound and new.
So unless you have like the original VHS tapes from like the 80s, the original Star Wars, the way it was actually filmed, is not availed anywhere
Really?
else. Yeah.
you would have to try to find
have
some kind of
And
original.
there is someone out there who sourced, like there was a website and stuff to source out all of the different
versions.
VHS copies, because again, VHS, so it degrades over time. Yeah. And so there wasn't a lot with good sources. So they managed to get the best of the best to recreate the original in a digital age.
I bet Lucas has the originals.
Oh,
That'd be
yeah, but they
interesting.
won't release it like
Yeah,
that
he's not
because
gonna.
officially he likes every time he makes an update, it's like Star Wars version 1.0, 1.2, 1.3.
You know how they used to do the special effects for like those big scenes where you see all the army and they're in like a hangar with like all the ships.
Mhm.
I'm guessing they're like little toys. or
They
something?
would do miniatures too, but they actually hired like a artist and he would paint on glass.
Oh.
So then the camera would take the shot like this, and all the glass guys would be on there with the shot, and that's how he made like the wide shots of those scenes, like the one with Luke, and you see the long corridor. Remember when he falls down?
Yes.
When he finds out it's his dad, and he kind of drops down. That whole scene, that was all glass work. That's how they used to
That's
do.
really cool. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I watch all these like clips on Instagram, and I'm like, this is the craziest. Like,
The fuck Senator Ricky doesn't want to tell us about this shit?
I don't know, man.
He's
He probably
supposed to
knows
come on
about.
and give us all this crazy shit.
He knows so much. It's like you have to get it out of him, because then he'll probably go on
we got
tangents.
to start
and-
writing down all the questions we want to know more about.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
our problem.
That's a good idea.
I just watched a thing about the guy that storyboard for Star Wars, and they actually had it written with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. Originally, the character that Liam Neeson played, his name, he was supposed to be Obi-Wan, and his apprentice was Qui-Gon. And what happens is when he dies, he takes on his name. And that's how they storyboarded it. And then Lucas changed it at the last minute and didn't want to do that after all. But originally that's how it was written. Because even when, and they referenced even like when they first see Obi-Wan, and he goes, "Oh, I haven't heard that name in a long time."
Oh, I thought it was just because he was going by Ben.
Yeah, that's what everybody assumed. But originally, it was because that's not his name. He took on Obi-Wan when his master died.
I see.
And it like transferred down. And I was like, oh, that's kind of a... They would have changed so many things. He was like going on into detail. I can't remember everything. But I just remember... I have like a lot of information in my head. But I can't keep it all. Like as soon as I like take on like this information, I know I'm losing like something else, like some other file is getting shredded that it doesn't have space
and you
for.
need to delete stuff.
Something gets put in the archive. You gotta go digging for it.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I see all this cool stuff, and I'm like, man, they just won't stop coming up with like different like things that we've never known about. You know, like. What are you excited to see? There's some new movies coming out, right?
I don't know.
Isn't Venom coming out? Venom's coming out?
Venom's out, I think.
Oh, it's out right now?
I want to say it is, but I could be wrong.
Probably not yet.
Day to Die or something, whatever the heck it's called.
I don't know if I've seen anything that I'm like super excited about.
No previews or anything. You guys haven't seen Romulus, huh?
No.
Romulus?
The alien Romulus? The new one?
I'm not.
It was really good.
I don't even think I even heard of that.
No?
What do you mean? You haven't heard of it?
Romulan? No.
So you,
it's an alien movie.
Oh, you guys have to watch the first one again. Right?
There's a first one?
Well, you haven't watched many of the Alien series.
As long as you watch
Promethean series
like,
and
okay. Mm-hmm. I thought you just meant like any alien, but no, I've not seen any alien movies. No.
Watch it. They did Alien with Sigourney Weaver, and then they did Aliens. That was the sequel, and that was James Cameron. So the first one was directed by Ridley Scott. Then James Cameron directed the second one. He's the one that directed like Avatar and Terminator. Okay. So they kept changing directors, and then Alien 3 was directed by the heck is, I can't remember his name. I want to say Stanley Kubrick, but that's not Stanley Kubrick. But anyways, they had different directors for each movie, so they kind of have a different feel. So it's kind of interesting watching them throughout the years. We watched all of them with the girls, and so they could see all the whole.
Did they like it?
Yeah, they like the movies. It's funny watching with my middle child Elsie because she jumps.
Oh,
yeah, she's like whoa.
He does too.
Like we were watching Signs. You remember Signs, right? There's a couple of jumps. Is that
where did she jump with the part where the alien passed by?
She's like, oh my god. It was actually really suspenseful. Like, M. Night did a really good job with that movie.
He
like,
used to be good. Now he's just a weirdo.
He built up the suspense with it, and then you think you're not going to see anything, and then he walks by like slow, like you see, and you're like, it's just like you kind of jolts.
I mean, he had great ideas when it comes to that kind of stuff, like. But the follow through for him just never really lands.
The consistency is what it is.
Yeah.
Because he would have like Unbreakable, like bam, that was a good movie. Signs, bam, that was a good movie. And then he would do like the Mark Wahlberg movie, that one with like the heirs killing you or whatever.
But even Signs, as good as a movie it
was a plant.
Yeah. The plants. It was in the air, and then you remember it with the wind and like they would die or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Old. Did you see Old?
Yeah,
and that was a dumb movie, right?
I like the idea of it, but it was just
the trailer was good.
Like, and that's the same thing with like Signs. I mean, it's a great idea. You're right. There's great like cinematic suspenseful moments in there, and it, for what it's worth, it had a great cast too.
Yeah.
But It's kind of weird. The aliens come to a planet that's like, what are we, 93% water or some shit? Yeah. And they die from water like instantly.
Well, yeah. So that's supposed to be like I think we talked about that last time too.
And that makes more sense. So if you want to,
yeah. So they were supposed to like originally, because you've seen Signs, right? Remember how? Yeah,
but it's been years. I don't really remember.
Alien. Remember the little girl keeps leaving water all over the house, and we don't know why. And then at the end, it becomes that the aliens, that's like their weakness.
Okay.
And they get hit with water. So then like Joaquin keeps swinging the bat and he keeps breaking the water and it's hurting the alien or whatever, and then it kills it.
Okay.
Whatever. But so originally, because when you're watching the whole movie, they're all talking about scripture. Mel Gibson is a former pastor, remember? But he lost his faith because his wife died. And like you could see like the outline of a cross that he took down. Like it's very like biblical. And even when he's talking to Joaquin, like they're talking about like what signs are. Like, are you a person that sees signs, or do you think things just happen like by accident or something? You know, like, do you believe in God or you don't believe in God? You know, like that kind of thing. Like that's how the whole movie is. But then you have this part that's aliens. Originally, that was supposed to be like demons.
Oh.
And then the water was supposed to be like holy water.
Oh, well, that would have made more sense.
That made more sense.
Yeah.
So that goes along with the whole. So if you think of it like from that point of view and you watch the whole movie, you're like, oh yeah, this fits in. But then apparently, what the people are saying is that the studio or whoever made him change it into aliens and not demons.
Why?
Because maybe they thought it'd be more mainstream that way. Because if you make it way too like angels and demons and all that, you'll lose part of the audience that don't believe in that kind of stuff. And aliens, everybody can kind of get behind aliens. Everybody kind of feels like there probably is aliens out there. We look up in the sky and see all these stars. Like every dot that you see is a star, which a star is a sun. So there's planets orbiting each one of those dots.
Yeah,
which is kind of crazy when you start, and then that's just in our own galaxy, and then you think about how many galaxies there are in the whole universe.
There are a lot of them.
You keep multiplying over and over and over again. Yeah, it's like infinite.
Damn.
And there's suns that we can't even see. They're not as bright, so you can only see them by a microscope. Like I like going
telescope.
Or telescope. I said microscope.
Microscope. You can see something else different.
Who knows, dude? Like,
I mean, you could go so far that it comes
worlds.
back around.
Yeah.
Yeah, little worlds to a microscope.
That was in Men in Black. Yeah. Remember the little people in Men in Black? Like
even littler, the fucking galaxy on Orion's belt.
Orion's belt, yeah. It was on the cat's little necklace. Yeah, so we don't even know like how everything.
A kid's marble.
I know. That kind of stuff starts like you can't even wrap your head around that kind of stuff. Like it's too much. And like, you heard about that like floating mass or something that like is coming toward us and it changed direction, so they think it's a ship now? Because if it was like an asteroid or something, an asteroid wouldn't change like its course. It would be going on this, but it changed. It moved. Now it's going to a different course toward us, but it's like super far away, and I don't know.
It's like, fuck that shit.
Well,
I'm not going to that
no,
planet.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Like, there's all kinds of.
Speaking of aliens, before I forget.
Oh yeah. What were you gonna say?
Venom came out.
It did.
It did. Okay, October 25th.
Wow,
right before Halloween.
Wow, I haven't seen anything about it, man. This is crazy.
It got a 38% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's not good.
He continues.
That's not good.
To suck. I wasn't gonna watch in the theaters anyways because I was so disappointed with Carnage, but I was hoping this one would be better.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like as well, Carnage could have been done differently, maybe a little bit better.
I mean, when you see Deadpool and how good they did with that movie, you're like, why can't we get
Carnage is supposed to be a fucking serial killer, and if they would have made it R, but they didn't want to because they want to sell it to kids. Yes. They couldn't do all of what Carnage is supposed to be, but he's supposed to be originally was a serial killer.
Yeah.
Who got
killed
a
his
symbiote. Parents. And then and a fucking crazy one at that, carving people up type serial killer.
Ew.
I know. And so with Carnage symbiote on, now he's fucking unstoppable and just fucking mad because the guy was a psychiatric patient to begin with.
Yeah.
So it's just pure carnage. Is what it's supposed to be. And what we got was just destruction.
Barely any.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw it.
You didn't see Carnage?
It's not worth it.
Yeah. You would probably be okay
There's
with going the
nothing
rest of your
gained
life
from it.
Well, not seeing Carnage.
The last thing that I remember of Venom, I remember seeing him in one of the Avenger movies, like really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came at the end of one of the Adventure, and that was the last time I saw him.
I think that was, which one was it? It was the Spider-Man movie, I think.
Yeah.
Or
Far From Home.
Doctor Strange is one of those.
And
I think it was Far From Home.
Was
the
it?
one with
the one where he resets his
Jake Gyllenhaal.
His identity, you know?
Is that connected to this?
That's why they did that.
That's No Way Home then.
No Way Home, yeah. So No Way Home, when they did that, he got pulled into that universe, remember?
Yeah.
So he was at this resort and then he wasn't.
Yeah.
And then he was like, what the hell just happened? And so he's sitting at a bar and he sees like, you know, stuff on TV and he's like, what the heck is that? Mm-hmm. And the bar, he's talking to the guy at the bar and he's like, yeah, so basically that's it. I'm not from here. And the guy's like, oh yeah, sure. And he turns around and then he like poofed back because, you know, they fixed everything.
Yeah.
But we see a little sliver of Venom left in the Marvel universe. So that's supposed to be like, this is how it's going to get here. But it's not going to be Tom Hardy, obviously.
It'll be a different one.
Yes, because that's all Sony.
So
but they left it open. It's pretty much.
They haven't used it though.
No.
Apparently they're writing the next Spider-Man too.
Yeah, Tom Holland confirmed that the Spider-Man 4 is going to be a thing. And they're just trying to finalize the script and whatnot.
They're working on it.
I like him.
Did you cry? Did you cry at the last one? Remember, he sees his friends.
because he had to.
But he didn't want to tell
everybody
them.
forget about him.
Yeah, he gave up. Well, he didn't give up. He let them go.
Yeah.
So they don't become a liability.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm so excited for, because now we're getting a Peter Parker like from the comics. Poor guy trying to make his living in New York and juggle being a superhero.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Because he has no support system.
And he has nothing now. And that's why we get that little scene of him in the apartment, him sewing up his own suit. Now he's back to like, you know, using just him.
Yeah.
No more Stark technology to help.
Yeah, just him by himself. Tony Stark's dead.
Which is pretty sad because that means we've erased all of
him. Happy doesn't know him either.
No. Yeah, nobody knows. Everybody forgot who he was.
But that's probably better though, because then they can't use those people to get to him.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
who's he gonna fight next?
All of those events and stuff that happened before.
Who's another big character that he hasn't fought in Spider-Man?
Well, he did the Goblin, Venom, really. Venom, Kingpin, Shocker. They introduced Shocker, but they never really went more with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's Rhino.
They showed him.
You know, he was in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Briefly there.
With Paul
we did
Giamatti.
Mysterio, but we did it weird. And then what else? You know what would be cool, but it would be a stretch, is there's these like vampires that specifically go out to eat spider totems in the spider universe.
Okay, that's probably not gonna
So they go to different universes and like suck out all of the life force from different Spider-Men, so that he has to team up with Spider-Men from all over different universes in order to take them down.
That would be a Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield movie.
Yeah, it would be all the Spider-Men.
Yeah.
Even Spider-Pig can show up, just like they did in the Spider-Verse for the Sony one, except they changed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But that was the original, like,
what about in the
idea
game?
Of it.
In the game, was there any cool villains in the game?
The villains in the game were all the same ones. I mean, it's his villains. Venom, Goblin,
Croc, or whatever.
Yeah, that's not even his. But the Lizard.
Yeah,
the Lizard, which they did. Falcon or Vulture. That's his first real superhero villain.
Yeah.
In comics.
The Sand Guy.
Yeah, Sandman. They did Sandman.
Sandman.
There's a Hydro guy.
Hydro Man.
Yeah, Mary Jane ends up becoming a water person for a bit when we thought she was lost. Or maybe that was just the cartoon. Regardless, there's a water guy.
Okay.
Black Cat. She's an anti-hero for him and a love interest. That would be interesting.
Spider Girl.
Spider Girl is supposed to be his daughter, I think, officially.
Oh, that's
So she's not there yet.
That's later on when he gets married and has
Maybe.
kids.
I don't know, because there's a couple of different variations of different Spider Girls, Spider Gwens, Spider Women. Yeah.
People.
Yeah.
Spider Woman.
Who else though? Kingpin. But it looks like he's being set up with the.
Does he have a show? Is he in a show right
he
now?
is. They used him, the same one from Daredevil,
Vincent
and then he was.
D'Onofrio?
Yeah, and then he was in the Hawkeye show. Look at our little guest star, our little baby Popo.
He's a little dirty right now. Don't zoom in on him.
And, well, I mean, it's gonna probably happen
Don't.
anyway.
Don't.
I don't even know if he's in frame. He probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's just a little guy.
maybe.
He looks tired, huh?
Probably is because it's dinner time soon.
Oh, yeah.
Past almost. Anyway, I can't think of any other ones. We did the Scorpion kind of too, right? Or did we not?
A scorpion?
Scorpion, yeah, he fights a scorpion.
I feel like
We
Spider-Man
did
fights
Doc
a lot
Ock.
of animal,
Yes.
like, super villains.
Originally, it kind of happened like that because, like, the idea was like, what kind of crazy thing could a spider take on? You know. So they got a lot of them like that, and then others just kind of like happened or
Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin. Oh, that might be interesting. But again, that's not like major because that's someone who found the technology and took over.
Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, there's the Harry Green Goblin. Not Harry, like Harry, but Harry the name.
Yeah.
Harry Osborn.
Yeah.
Oscorp.
Yeah.
What about Ned? Didn't they say Ned was going to be a bad guy?
Ned becomes Hobgoblin, supposedly. But we'll see where that goes.
They could be doing that next.
Possible. But I don't know. The way they set him up right now, he's got to do a fall from grace type thing, you know?
Oh, yeah, because he, like, became a friend at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they put him with magic, so I don't think they're going to go Hobgoblin with him.
He went like, shh.
Yeah.
Remember?
A little bit of magic.
Oh, yeah.
He took Doctor Strange.
So who knows what could happen. But yeah, can't really think of too much that aren't, you know.
What's the upcoming
Oh,
movies?
you know what they haven't done is Craven, right? Or did we get a Craven movie?
Craven.
I don't know what that is.
Craven the Hunter.
Oh, the hunter guy.
Mm-hmm. He likes to hunt.
Yeah. He's got like puffy shoulders and everything.
He wears
got,
like a lion head
that's what it is.
vest type
I
thing.
feel like I've heard of this guy
I
before.
want to say that they've started to introduce him or wanted to make a movie with him or something, but he is a Spider-Man villain that's pretty prominent, pretty big. Just trying to think of any other ones and nothing else coming to
We'll
mind.
have to do some research, Look up some possible
outside
villains.
of things that he would team up with, you know.
I was just trying to think of enemies of spiders.
I feel like we've already taken
spiders.
a
Can
giant
repel.
majority of them
Spider
already.
repellent.
Birdman.
Yeah.
Birds eat spiders, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Bat.
in some universes, there's even crazier ones, like the Goblin, that we saw in Into the Spider-Verse. It's different. One was a human-based, one was an actual goblin.
Oh, yeah.
But for this Spider-Man, of what they have, and just in general, I mean, they're all the same anyway. So I can't think of anything else.
That's
He
pretty
fought
good.
sand, water,
It's a pretty good list, man.
air.
You don't have to think of any more.
I don't know. I'm just trying to now. I don't know. I'm kinda stuck on it.
What are the new movies that are coming out? I know there's a Christmas movie coming out with
Red something, I think.
Red Letter, Red Scarlet.
Yeah, it's like the Red
Red Dead Redemption.
something with
The Rock.
The Rock and
Captain America.
Yes.
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans.
I don't feel like The
Chris
Rock
Evans.
should be invited to do any more superhero movies after he did that crappy last one.
Whoa.
Yeah, and he wasn't even supposed to be a
He's The
superhero.
Rock,
Say,
though.
whoa, like, you know that
You
last
shut him
movie
down.
was bad.
You shut him down. You're like, you are not allowed.
You're not allowed here anymore. Cause
Well, it's not a
Red
superhero
One.
movie, though.
Is what it's called.
It's like a Christmas.
Yeah, it's a
like-
Christmas movie where he's got some affiliate. I haven't seen a lot of the
I don't
trailer,
know.
but
I
he
feel
has
like
got an
The
affiliation with
Rock's
Santa or some
movies have
shit.
not been the best lately.
Well, what did he do recently then? I'm trying to think now.
Yeah,
He
what
did
has he done
Jumanji.
recently?
He did-
Jumanji.
No, that's the only
but
good.
yeah.
I love Jumanji.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's get it.
I like both of
He did
them.
Red Notice, right? That was with like Ryan Reynolds.
Yes, Red
I don't really know
Notice.
what that is.
It was a Netflix movie. He also did.
I'm gonna take this to Google because
He did a
Makes sense.
wrestling movie, but it hasn't come out yet. Where he
Is it
plays.
like a biography.
Yeah, he plays somebody.
does he play his dad?
That would be cool, but I don't
He's
think.
done it
I feel
before.
like I have seen him talk about that. I think he
Yeah,
does.
because he had a big old injury on his forearm. Did you see that? Like he had a big old like bump right here. It was
Ooh,
the Rock-
like for real
Yeah.
or in the movie?
Yeah, no. On Instagram, he was like, "Look at this," and it was like a big old welt.
Ew.
Like, looked like a watermelon, like a little cantaloupe was
How
like.
does that happen?
Probably hit his arm on something. Like
Damn. Why
Yeah.
what are you elbowing that hard?
he's doing stunts, flipping through the air. Like who knows, landing wrong. Like yeah, these guys. I mean, no matter how much you practice, you can still, you
Hurt
know,
yourself.
land wrong, hit your arm on something, flip over something, break something.
I started watching that documentary of was it Vince McMahon?
Oh yeah.
And it was very interesting to see all the background of like
How it
Like-
started.
of like early WWE or WWF, I guess. At that
Yeah,
point.
they put those guys through hell. Like they
Yeah.
were literally wrestling every single night,
Yeah.
flying
they were.
city to city.
They
All
were.
right,
And they
Yeah,
were
I
not
finally
being
got
treated
it.
right.
I had to go from Bing to Google. Sorry.
Hulk Hogan talks about that, about how much they worked like nonstop.
Yeah. And they are putting their body through like some serious stuff.
Okay, what'd you find?
His last movies. So the two projects that are just coming out is Moana 2 and Red One. That's the Christmas one.
Red One.
He starred in Fast X.
That's right.
Solo movie. His lead, Black Adam.
That's the
Starred
one.
in ensemble for DC League of Super Pets. That was with
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah. Super
Red
nice.
Notice, like we mentioned. That's Ryan Reynolds one.
Yeah.
I think he had a small part in Free Guy,
Did he?
or he voiced somebody or did
He
something.
must have voiced
Because
somebody.
he's credited. Jungle Cruise was his last one.
That's
Before that,
right.
2021.
Did you like Jungle Cruise?
I don't remember. So probably
Emma.
not.
Wait, was it Emma or
It was Emily Blunt.
Emily? Yeah, Emily Blunt.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It was good.
I feel like he's just the same person in every movie.
Well, he's The Rock. Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, but you could do other stuff, Brock. I don't know.
He could, but it's just like when they hire Samuel L. Jackson, you just get Samuel L. Jackson.
That's not always true.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Yeah, that's not true. He
Most
can play,
of the
he can play
time.
other characters.
No, he's
But
good.
you're right. The Rock is always action.
Tom
comedy,
Cruise?
You know.
What do you get when you get
But
Tom
I mean,
Cruise?
that's his body. He's typecast.
I know.
Tom Cruise, you get Tom Cruise.
Otherwise, you do something funny with it. You know, like they used to
Yeah.
do with in the '90s and shit, like Jackie Chan as a babysitter.
Okay, but what about the other guy who's a wrestler? He's an actor.
John Cena.
John
Yeah.
Cena surprisingly does
He
extremely
does
well.
a lot
of different characters.
stuff. Then why can't you do that, Rock?
Did you see that lottery
Because he's
ticket
not
one?
John Cena.
It was I think it's called Lottery.
Which one?
With-
With John Cena?
Yeah.
I don't think I have.
It was like one of those random movies I was just flipping through, and I was like, "Oh, let me." It was all right.
Was it like a drama comedy?
Like it's
Let's
supposed to be
see.
like in the future. So in the future, if
Jackpot.
jackpot in the future,
I see it here, but I haven't seen.
if you win the
No spoilers.
Well, this won't spoil it because this happens in the very beginning of the movie. If you win the jackpot, you have to survive for 24 hours to get the money. So anybody can kill you. If they kill you, they automatically get the money.
I feel like we have seen that. That sounds
Have we?
familiar. Maybe. Okay, that sounds.
It's with
I feel like
Aquafina.
it does, but I don't think we've seen it.
It's a comedy.
It feels like it just came out, right?
So Aquafina accidentally gets somebody's like fob or something. She didn't even go for the jackpot, but she has it and she wins.
Oh.
And then everyone's just trying to kill her.
Oh shit.
And then John Cena is a guy that, like, if you give him a percentage, he'll protect you.
Oh, okay.
So he's trying to protect her the whole time from everybody killing
that.
her. It was watchable.
Yeah,
I laughed. There was some good parts.
I'd like to watch it.
It wasn't bad. Like, I would give it like a 71 or something or whatever. I don't know, like in the 70s. Like, because, you
That's
know,
pretty high.
it wasn't like the best movie I ever saw, but it was just like one of those comedies. Like, we used to get these kind of comedies all the time, like in the 2000s. Like, just a random, like, you watch it, it's funny, you know, but you're like, that was good. You know, like, it was worth a watch. Like, I probably won't watch it again. I don't need to, but it had like some famous people. Bless
But it
you.
was fun.
Thank you.
Like Machine Gun Kelly was in it.
Okay.
Ew.
Like, yeah, there was like some cameos of some people, and he played himself. So he was like in a house.
okay.
Yeah, and they had to like go in there, and it was like, can we go in your house, Machine Gun Kelly?
Well,
He's
do we
like-
want to compare between The Rock and John Cena as far as like, I mean, we went over the
Score?
recent things for The Rock, right? But let's see
Okay.
how many recent things John Cena did with that wasn't just I'm the strong guy kind
So-
of action, you know?
Well,
So-
that would be
What would be your favorite movie from The Rock? What would you say your favorite movie?
Jumanji.
Jumanji for sure, yeah.
The first
I
one
also
and
liked
second
him
one.
in Fast and
The
Furious.
first one.
So.
Do you
No,
like
I
him
don't,
as
I don't really
Hobbs?
Oh,
care for that.
Yeah, I liked him as Hobbs, and I also saw Hobbs and Shaw.
He was serious, and he came in. He's like, "I'm gonna kick your butt," and you know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
I'm gonna
like
take
that.
you down.
Yeah, like the way he, like him and what's his name,
Vin Diesel.
Jason Stamos.
Oh.
Like how they went at it. Remember how they kept
Yeah.
fighting and everything? Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
That's why they made a Hobbs and Shaw, because they were so good together.
Right.
The movie that I like,
They weren't good movies though.
they were
I
action.
just liked watching them.
At a certain
Yeah.
point, they were just
Sorry.
like became from like, you know, what they were supposed to be, which is based off of the original Fast and Furious movie as car races and shit. But then they took it over the top, and then they had to keep over the topping themselves
Yeah.
until eventually they're driving cars in space and shit.
I know. I know.
So now it's not supposed to be taken seriously. Now it's supposed to be like,
it's
how
out of
crazy
control.
can we be?
But they did.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel or somebody said that they're going to go back to just racing. Like
It's
they're
not
gonna,
going to be worth it.
They're gonna.
They might as well just keep going over the top.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch.
They're gonna go back.
kidding, I
they're,
would.
they're gonna go back to more of the street racing, the kind of car thing. Like I mean, that's what I liked about the first Fast and Furious, or even like Tokyo Drift. I like seeing the cars and like the different like things they would do the cars and stuff like that. Like I like the stories of that. Like they still do like there's serious like street racing in like Japan. Like they have like where they close the streets down and stuff, and they do like these like
They do that here too.
drifting races, like illegal drifting races and stuff like that. Like that kind of culture. Like
Yeah,
started
I
a
guess that
whole-
would be interesting, but
Yeah, if they actually did a real one. But this over the top cars flipping and bouncing, and this
Remember,
one has
They always have
hydraulics
to like save the world.
this guy
with their-
started as a
with their cars.
thief. He was a thief.
Vin
trying
Diesel
to
flies
steal
through
some
the air.
product and shit.
He
Like,
flies through the air to catch his friend and then turn and land on the car. Like
I believe it.
it's gotten like he's
what was the bullshit he was stealing in that first movie? That the whole point of putting the other dude in there? He's stealing like fucking stereos or something stupid, right?
they were trying to they would steal from trucks. That's what their whole crew was doing. They were organizing to steal from these trucks.
Right.
Yeah.
Using their awesome driving skills.
Yeah.
And then they would race each other on the streets and make a modest living.
Yeah.
And then they went from that to secret FBI, CIA
I
agents
know
or some
Kurt
shit.
Russell. and
Like the most wanted people in the world.
Yeah.
We need you.
Mm-hmm.
You're the only one that we can.
When a cop
Yeah.
and an ex-con get together, the Fast
it got
and the
deep.
Furious.
It got way too deep. No, the movie that I like The Rock in the most is that one he did with Mark Wahlberg, the Pain and Gain. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Where they were like bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Like if you watch that movie and you
I don't think I watched it, but I know it.
It was based on a true story.
Huh?
It happened in Miami. This guy.
I like that he licked it because now we got him.
He was like a personal trainer, and then he started like trying to take all this guy's money and stuff like that. Like it's actually based on a true story. It's who's the director? Is it Michael Mann or
This is The Rock that's in it?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Watch, pull up Pain and Gain just to show her like a picture of the poster. It's actually a good movie. I like it. It has Anthony Mackie,
I don't know who that is.
he's the new Captain America. Oh, that's coming out. The new Captain America
the one in
movie.
the show?
Yeah, Anthony Mackie. So he's in it, Mark Wahlberg and The Rock. And The Rock plays like an ex-con, and he's kind of dumb, but he has the most range in that movie. If you watch him in that movie, he's funny. Like his character's funny.
But again,
He's like wearing
action comedy.
Yeah.
But if watch him in that movie and then tell me what you think of his acting in that, because I think that movie, like, if you watch that, you're like, oh, he can be like a serious but funny like actor, like a Mark Wahlberg. Like Mark Wahlberg does like serious, but then he's also funny sometimes. Like he did really good. Like they wrote like a good character for him in that movie.
Right. But again, he's always typecasted as the strongest dude.
Now,
because like he's got the biggest guns.
Yeah, dude, he was huge in that movie too.
What happens when he doesn't have his muscles anymore?
Ooh,
He's
is
retired.
the question. What are you gonna do, Rock, when you don't got all those muscles? What are you gonna do, buddy?
Steroids.
You know who's deflating right now? Actually, as you talk about that, Batista, the guy that played.
Yes.
What do you mean he's deflating?
He lost like 50, 60 pounds. I don't know, something like that.
That's one of the reasons he stopped playing. What the fuck was his name?
The guy from
Drax?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Drax. Yeah.
Yeah.
He made a comment about it. He's like, they're like, oh, why are you quitting? Why are you quitting? And he's like, no reason. I like playing the character. It's just, I'm like 60 years old. I can't keep up with these ab workouts and calf workouts and shit.
You have
He's 60?
I think so.
Wow.
to maintain that muscle, you have to eat a lot of protein. So it's not just
It's not very healthy.
working out, but you have to eat like 6-7 meals. I don't know how many times they have to wake up sometimes in the middle of the night just to eat a meal.
55.
Dang.
Yeah, to maintain all that
He's an
muscle,
older
you
man
have
now.
to take in a lot of protein. So they're drinking those protein drinks. They're eating the chicken and rice and broccoli, and then they're eating the fish, and then they're eating the beef, and they have to keep eating meals all day.
Isn't that like why Hugh Jackman didn't want to do like Wolverine anymore either because of all that?
Because one of the things that they made him do that they didn't make him do anymore was he had to do a lot of water fasting so that his skin was like tighter around his muscles and shit.
Well, anytime
I
they
never even heard that.
Yeah, anytime these actors have like a scene where they don't have their shirt on, or they're coming out of Wolverine's coming out of the water and he has his claws or something like that. When they're shooting those scenes, even like Ryan Gosling, like all these guys, if they have to have their shirt off, they're doing a water fast. So it dehydrates your body, and then your muscles are more exaggerated.
That does not seem
So
healthy.
that's what bodybuilders do. Before they do the contest, they're all dehydrated.
That's why our muscles are veiny.
That's
That's
how
so
yeah,
sad.
that's how you get your muscles to pop out.
It's like, look at them. Look at my muscles.
Oh, and then they do chocolate face too. They have to like put the dark.
Oh yeah, they get
Tanning,
tanned all
all that.
up.
But they call it chocolate face because they do their face now too.
But let's see here. Wait, what were we talking about?
We're talking about how The Rock is gonna suck when he has no muscles.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's gonna become the
But
stone.
yeah. So Batista's already. If you pull up recent pictures of what he looks like, he looks so skinny now. Because he's still a tall guy. He's 6'4", 6'5".
That's tall.
Can't remember. So for him to lose like 50 or 60 pounds of muscle, he looks pretty skinny. So I think he's standing. I just saw him with Jason Momoa, and he looks so much smaller than him now too. Even him, he's pretty big.
Yeah, he is.
For Aquaman, did you like Aquaman?
I never seen it.
You never seen the first one, second one?
No, I've never seen it, but I want to. I feel like I would like it.
The first one's all right. Second one's, but I mean, I guess if you watch one, you can watch the other.
Oh, dang. He does look way skinny.
There's a lot of muscle. I mean, if you stop taking in.
It's so funny how even his neck changes because of he doesn't have the muscles there.
So that's like a glimpse of what The Rock would look like. He would start losing a lot of weight.
For sure.
He would get a neck.
And not only are these guys taking in a lot of protein and stuff like that, but they also have to take in the HGH and the steroids and all the stuff, the hormone stuff that they take to make themselves big.
Testosterone.
Yeah, to keep pumping up. And
it's a thing, like, you know, it's definitely harsh on the body when they want to get in those roles and take them very seriously. And that's just one aspect of it. I mean, we can turn around and look at the other way, like, what's his name from the Joker movie? How skinny he had to get, yeah. Joaquin
lost
Phoenix.
a lot of weight.
For the first one, right?
Yeah.
Like he did it at least controlled, but back in the day, they weren't doing it too much like that.
I don't know. He was just eating like one apple a day and just like,
he was fasting it down, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But, you know, he was getting his shit maintenanced. Yeah. But look at, so for Castaway, right? They did all of the Castaway scenes first. So they shot all of that stuff. You know, he lost a lot of weight for that. But then, you know, they've got to do the before it happened.
So he had to gain.
So he had to gain a shit ton of weight real quick.
That's
just dropping dogs. And so lifetime for him has changed. He had got diabetes from that.
Yeah.
Shit, forever?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's so sad.
They can have health problems. Like even Matt Damon, he lost a bunch of weight for that not Saving Private Ryan. Courage Under Fire, I think. The one with what the heck is her name? Bless you.
Salud.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
I can't think of her name. Jodie Foster?
What are we talking
Courage Under Fire? Did you ever see that movie?
I can't recall.
It's a 90s movie. If you look at him in that movie, Matt Damon, he is so skinny. And he was just supposed to play like, you know, this like veteran, you know, this guy that went to war, and you know, he's smoking cigarettes and he's just like talking about what happened over there.
Like traumatized.
Yeah, and he's so skinny, and he said he lost so much weight, and he's like his body's never been the same ever since he did that. Do you know who seems to not be affected?
Oh yeah, he looks skinny.
You know who seems to not be affected by all the weight changing is Christian Bale. Christian Bale lost a lot of weight. Did you ever see The Machinist? Yeah. Machinist?
That sounds familiar.
Pull up Machinist, dude. If you see what he looked like in Machinist, it looks ridiculous. Like he looks like he's gonna die. Like he's a skeleton.
What was it for?
It was for that role. It was supposed to be
Was he like sick in the role?
He was like this loner guy, and like I'm trying to remember the movie. I saw it so long ago. But he did that movie, and right after he did Machinist, he did the first Batman. So he gained like 50 or 60 pounds of like muscle, because he was big.
That sounds super unhealthy.
He was big in that movie, and in the first Batman Begins. That was probably his most muscular. He had a lot of muscle in that movie, and he did those movies like back to back, which was crazy. Like somebody has like it all, like every time he's like gained weight and lost weight for roles, somebody like has a breakdown.
So this is one that he played a real character, right? Like it was a real person.
Yeah,
so this
Machinist.
This is the real person, and this is what he did to get that role.
They looked alike.
I know. Good job, right? Like, he's always been like that. That's why there was you remember when he had that huge controversy with yelling at someone on set for the
Terminator.
Yeah.
Salvation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
There was that
yeah.
audio recording, and people were like canceling or some shit. Well, what they didn't tell you is that he apologized afterwards, and it's because he was in the moment. They
It's
were
intense.
filming an intense scene, and he was there,
Yeah.
and he was pulling in those emotions. And then, of course, when it all got ruined, it's art still. It's not just you going up there and doing something. It's art, and there's a process, and especially for people like this who take it very far.
I get that.
I mean, look at Matthew
But
McConaughey
you can't
too.
Be an
when he-
asshole though.
No, and that's why he apologized. But as well,
You have to access those emotions though, and you have to be in that mindset.
So think about it. If you turn that on and that's who you are in this moment, and then somebody comes up and they just pull you out of it, and it took you like a good moment to get there.
Yeah.
That's very frustrating. Yes, he blew up, but he shouldn't have.
It wasn't just like, hey, like, what the fuck? You're like, he just kept going and going
Yes.
and going.
Yes,
And so
that's what I'm saying.
So it wasn't just like, hey, what the fuck? Like, why the fuck did you
No,
do that?
it
He
wasn't.
just like berating him. Like, it was not cool.
No, it wasn't cool, and they were trying to calm him down and get him done, but he couldn't. He was stuck in that.
Yeah.
Like, think about like the most frustrating situation you could be in with someone. That's how he felt. So I'm not saying that it was justified or right. He knew it wasn't right. He went and apologized.
Yeah.
But we didn't get that part of the clip. And that sound guy came out and said, yeah, he apologized and he, made up for it and everything, and we talked about it, or whatever. But yeah, that was a crazy ass fucking moment for him, because shit can get intense, especially when you're trying to do a take of something you have very limited time for, because it was a special effects take too.
Did you ever flip out on anybody on stage?
Yes, I have. I got pissed off once on stage. When I was playing the Grinch, I was very upset. That was like in the weirdest time of my mental health as well. And so this show was fucking stupid, right? They couldn't get the rights to the show, so the teacher wrote it herself. And how are you going to turn that small story into something big, right? So she's doing the adaptation, and she did her best, but it was shitty as fuck. It was literally just reading the book on stage, and there was little direction anywhere else. And, so all the lines were from the book and then other stuff. I saved the show by ad-libbing an entire scene, and making it, I was just playing around at first, and then I started ad-libbing and going with it in character, that they decided to keep it in there and make it a longer scene. And it was like the best part of the show, apparently. And it's where Grinch is like stealing all the shit.
Yeah.
So I'm going through and I'm like making comments about everything I'm stealing as I do. Like, there was this bear and he wore a sweater, and I was like, put him on my lap, and I'm like, hey, I know you're furry. I've got the same problem. But let me tell you something, friend. You're a bear. You don't need a sweater. And then I would throw him in the fucking bag and shit. And I would look in the fridge, and I would be like, the prop people, they went and decorated all the little cans and stuff that I was being throwing. So they had names on him, like Who Hash, So I was like, Who Hash? This would make great deodorant, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just playing with it and stuff. And so the entire scene was just supposed to be me walking through, throwing presents and things as music goes around, and then that was it. But during the small takes, like that, they would just stop and everything. I would just start playing around and just, because once I'm on stage, I'm in my character.
Yeah.
That's who I am. So I'm on stage. They got this big old platform. I'm at the top of the fucking hill, and I've got this big old fucking monologue I'm supposed to do. And no, I did not have it all memorized, right? And they were getting upset with me, the fucking student directors. They're like, how could you be the lead of this show and not have it memorized? I was like, excuse me? And they're like, yeah, I was like, how often did I get to come out here and do any type of rehearsing with you guys? You've been spending all the time with all the other people. Well, we just figured you'd be able to handle it. And I was like, well, then I figured you'd be able to handle it as a director. And then I blew up on him and I said, you know what? If this is the way you're going to treat me, then I could just go handle it somewhere else. Why am I even having a rehearsal with you? Why don't I just handle the whole thing? And I got all pissed off at him because, you know, they were coming at me and I'm like, what the fuck? It's not like this is we're in.
Do you know
to
who
a
you're
point
talking
where
to?
I'm supposed to have all the lines memorized, right? All the set pieces are there. I'm in costume. They want to see what it looks like. How many times do they pull me out in front of everybody to do rehearsal? 3 fucking times. The lead of the fucking show 3 times to pull me out for rehearsal. So I did it all on my own. I didn't get to go around and look at stuff because they spent all this time trying to do all the filler shit with all the Who ensemble, and it was a fucking mess.
Yeah.
You know, they spent all this time working on a fucking bed because they finally got the bed, and they're trying to get all these Who's and create this stupid Who story before they go to bed because they need to fill the scenes with some shit. And yeah, I got pissed off. I got pissed off at that guy. Oh, I hated that dude.
You still hate him.
I still do, you know.
You know who you're talking to? I'm the lead.
Hate him, but I hated him then.
You need me.
Today I might not, but then I did. And I was really pissed off that he made that comment. Like,
I make this play.
You're supposed to, we expect you to be able to handle it on your own. You should be good enough for that. And I'm like, I'm just as good as whatever director I get.
Ooh.
You know? So.
Yeah, I'm only as good as the director.
Right.
So.
Maybe if I had a better director, I was throwing that shit in his face like that right on stage. At this point in my high school career, I had already hit every fucking milestone I could. I'm just coasting through theater. I'm coming in only once a week because I'm on independent studies. Yeah. Like, it's just all, I think it was my senior year. It was my senior or junior year that I did this.
Yeah.
I think it was senior. But it's all just like, I was done with the way it was all being handled. They switched out the theater teacher and the lady who was there. Like, kids were literally selling fucking pills in her fucking English class, and they would just walk out and do drug deals and shit. Like, I was like, I do not want this lady to be my theater teacher. She's not gonna be able to handle it. Like, that year that she came in, I was actually supposed to be the mascot for the school. Like, I was gonna go do something else because I had already done so much in theater. And I was going to have the time. I could do shows, and then I could do this because we had football players and stuff that were in the shows too.
Yeah.
So I was going to be the mascot, and I was going to audition for the mascot and all that, try out, and it was going to be great because I was going to have all this little head experience inside big costume and whatnot, and people were excited for it. But when that theater teacher got announced, I ended up having to do so much more work with her and the theater to keep it going. Like, I ended up having to be the club president, like, the 2 years going and help run, figure out all the other bullshit. And it became a point where I was, like, sitting there. I don't even know. I mean, I told you that one story about the guy who took my role in a class project and shit.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. And you've heard that one, too, I believe, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, sure. Okay.
It was bullshit like that, where all the fucking teachers came out and they were like, so what's going on? And they were trying to talk to me like I was some kind of kid throwing a tantrum. And I'm saying, no, listen, it doesn't make any sense. You're going to take my class project role away because you say that I wasn't ready for my lines when I wasn't even in school that day. I was sent to New Mexico early for winter break. I didn't know I was going. My parents took me.
Yeah.
But they held that against me and recasted me because they didn't get to see me be tested on my lines. And they didn't fucking tell me. And the worst part is, my girlfriend at the time was the director of that show. And so this whole time, she already knew that the decision was being made that someone else could take my role who wasn't even in the class.
You told me about that.
It was a class project. So I was pissed off, and I was like, you know what? No, then I'm not going to do it. And they were like, okay, well, Steven, if you don't do it, you're going to fail this project. And I was like, that's fine. I don't need it.
You think I give a fuck?
I can fail this entire elective and I'll still graduate because I've taken so much electives for theater that I do not need the credits. well, your GPA is going to go down. I was like, well, how much down is it going to go when I have an A+ in this class? And they're like, well, I mean, if you fail this project at its weight, I mean, you might end up with a B. So?
Yeah.
Like, I was an asshole. I was a fucking asshole. I would talk back to people like that all the time. I'd be like, so if at that point in my life when you got on me, I did that to my mom, to my dad. I would throw it back
Well,
at
that's just
them.
how teenagers are.
I
They're
know,
assholes.
I went with it because my parents always focused on my older brother and my younger siblings, and it was always Steven can handle it himself. Steven's fine on his own. We don't have to worry about Steven.
So you just wanted attention.
I don't know. Maybe that's why I navigated to the stage. We can get through a
Yeah.
whole entire mental case on
You're
my
like,
on me right now.
You have to look at me now, Dad. You have to look at me now.
That makes
Everybody has to look at
That
me.
makes sense.
It
I
does.
am the lead.
And it really, all of that was really bad for me too, because it's this whole thing of like, oh, we don't have to worry about you. You're smart enough to do your own shit, handle your own grades, and nobody gives you that time and
That
attention.
one-on-one.
And then
yeah.
finally, when you get into the real world, you're sitting there like, fuck, I coasted through everything else.
You're like, I don't know anything else.
What are my options?
Yeah. But you figured it
I
out,
know.
though.
I've always figured it out in my
Yeah.
life.
I think-
it's always wound out fine.
I think
that's
school.
my curse.
I think school is good. I mean, it definitely people need it. You need to learn. You have to have a base, but not everybody is built for it, and it's hard to stick like every single kid into a system that's not built for everybody. You know,
Yeah.
and they force certain kids to sit still and stuff. That's why there's like other countries that they like in kindergarten and stuff. They don't even make them stay in the classroom. They just like walk around. They look at plants and they talk about like what they see, the bugs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because kids have a hard time like sitting still. So instead of trying to make them sit still, they like have them walk around and they'll just talk to them about what they see or what they do and what are you looking at or what do you think about this, and like you're teaching them still. This is just an interactive class, outside. So like, yeah, I mean, there's certain kids that do great. Like I had like that test anxiety thing, dude. Like I knew all the information, but then when I started looking at the test, dude, I'm like, fuck, dude, A, B, C, D. I'm like, oh, I gotta fill in the circle. Like it just throws me off, dude. And then I'm trying to think about the question, and then I know the answer, but then I don't know what to put down. Like I have like a real I started getting like that when we were filling out the ballots. I started going back into, I was like,
You're having fucking
Well,
like
that ballot was
PTSD.
really long.
It was.
So,
It's pretty big.
I have no idea who these judges are.
Dude, I said no on all of them. I said, let's just get rid of all the judges and
Well,
replace
see,
them all.
I started-
Start a clean slate.
I
just
did
put
that
no
too.
for all of them.
I started doing that, but then halfway through I felt bad. So then I was
You
like,
felt bad for the judges you don't even know.
You don't
I was
even
like,
know
what?
that. Why are you
I
doing
know.
that?
Because I was like, what if some of them are good? So then I started putting yes on some of the other ones.
How do you know which ones are the good ones?
Exactly. I don't know. So then I went back to no, and I stared putting no again. And
Well,
then I
so
started.
they get
and
to
then I
run again or
started
something.
And then I started like rotating yes, no, and then
You're doing a whole fucking system. Your name I don't like. That's a no. Ooh, I have a friend with your name. We're
dude,
gonna
I
use that
know,
one as a yes.
I know there was other people doing that, dude. I could not
sure
have
there
been the
was.
only
There's gotta
one
be.
that was just coming up with the system. I even like before I came to my little booth because like everybody.
Oh, you
gets-
voted in person?
Oh yeah, I always like to go.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm an in-person
No,
dude.
we just do it all in the mail.
I feel like this is just me. I feel like if they get mine, I feel like they're just gonna throw it away. I don't know. I always feel like mine's like it's not gonna get counted somehow or something. I just have this in my head. So I'm like, I'm gonna go in person and I'm gonna see it get scanned in because you have to scan it in right there
Yeah.
after you do it. But yeah, when I was walking up to my little cubicle thing that you're just standing in, the guy was like, he kept like moving around. He was tall like me too, so you have to like bend down, like after a while it was hurting my back, and I was like, oh, that's why that guy kept standing up and then going back down, standing
I'll
up
give you
and
a
go back
fucking
down.
chair or some shit.
It was annoying, dude, because
I feel like you should get a chair because
Yeah.
that ballot was so long.
I forget how tall I am too sometimes because like I did a CPR class at work, They had like you could sign up to learn CPR. So I was like, all right, I'll do that. I guess everybody signed up for it. So like I didn't get the class.
I mean, yeah, free CPR class.
Yeah. So you get certified for 2 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, pretty much they said if you already know how to do it, you know how to do it. Like once you learn, you learn. And like, yeah, I did the chest compressions and everything. And like, it was pretty interesting. But yeah, at the end of the class, we took a picture, and then like I was standing next to one of the people I work with, dude, and she's like right here, and I'm like up here, dude. I'm like, oh my god, dude, I forget how tall I am.
Oh
dude.
man,
like,
dude, remember when we took fucking pictures of Halloween at the top of the fucking garage parking thing? And it's like, I look like a fucking kid next to you.
I'm a giant, dude. I'm like, I can't help like how tall I am. But yeah, I'm in this little thing voting, and like I was like, fuck. Okay, the first part was easy. I knew, okay, there's Ruben Gallegos, Carrie Lake. Okay, I heard a lot of these names. You know, I'm good. And then like I got to the judges part, and I was like, fuck, I'm not ready for this part of the test. I didn't prepare.
We weren't ready for it either.
No one told me there was big judges here.
I didn't know there was gonna be a fat, but at least you guys did the mail in, so there wasn't that anxiety. And I'm like, looking around
because like I could research things as I go, you know.
Exactly.
That's
you could look up the props. I had to
I could look them up. I could read them in more detail. I could see more.
No, I had to read the
who's going
description.
for what.
I had to read the description.
Sometimes that's misleading. They word it weird.
I had to figure out if I should vote for it or not. They're like, do you want to advance the for us, it was all free district. They're able to sell bonds to include their payroll that hasn't been changed since 1972. I was like, well, if it hasn't been changed since 1972, then it's updated.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah. So I try to, I just try to pick out the logical parts of it because I don't know all the details. Yeah. That makes sense to me.
And then you go and you look them up, and they say like, oh, well, really, this is what it's going to do, and you're like, holy shit.
Actually, they're gonna take the water,
keep your
and
fucking
then they're
72 cents.
Yeah, I know but most of them I was able to figure out what, because they don't want you using your cell phone and stuff. I mean, they weren't
when you're there, you're not supposed to
be researching
or recording or something.
So I'm in full anxiety mode, like in my little booth, like
because it's supposed to be neutral space, so you can't be over there like looking up shit and.
It already had started out bad. So I get there, and then I knew my ID. Like, I was like, fuck. I forgot my address on my driver license is not up to date. It's my old address. So I was like, here we fucking go. What are we going to have to do? And then I started looking at like, okay, you can have option 2. You can have passport, or you can have a utility bill or something like that. As long as your utility bill shows your address, you're fine or whatever. Because I'm in the system. It just needs to match. So like, I was like, well, does Verizon work? And I was like, yeah. So I pulled up Verizon, and I pulled up my profile, and I had my address. And they're like, no, we need a statement. I was like, fuck, I've never went to the statement section in Verizon. I don't even know where it is. So I'm like, dude, I'm doing the search statement, and nothing comes up. It's all articles about Verizon statements. I'm like, no, I need my statement. So like, finally I was just clicking around, and I'm like, she's like, so have you found it yet? And I was like, fuck. I was like, I'm standing here. There's like a big ass line behind me. Like, I'm trying to figure out where to find
that's a lot of anxiety.
So this is how it started. I haven't even got the stupid ballot yet. And I don't even know that I'm going to see a whole list of like 1,000 judges that I have to vote yes or no on. Even the multiple ones, like pick 2 but not 3, like whatever.
Oh yeah,
you can pick up to 2, and there's 3 people on
3, and it's like, wait,
and there's 4 on there. Yeah, so like I went through the whole thing, dude, and it was just crazy, dude. I just couldn't. I was trying to get through all of them and do all the answers, but yeah, dude, it was a mess, dude.
I think she's gonna go feed the dogs. What time is it?
Yeah, we could probably.
It's 9:30.
We could shut it down, dude. We did.
Oh yeah, we got an hour and 30.
Yeah,
it started at like 8.
Tell her to come back real quick. We'll just say bye.
All right, hold on. Let me go get her.
You can call.
I can't.
No,
her camera's recording with my phone.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah, just tell her we're gonna sign off. She could say bye.
We're gonna do like an outro. You want to come back and do that real quick? She's She's coming back.
Okay. But yeah, anyways, that was my voting experience. I got through it. I almost kept the pen, but yeah, it was just
Almost kept the pen. You
yeah.
have a special pen.
It was kind of like a marker, but it was like a fine point marker.
Oh,
was
like
kinda
a Sharpie pen.
Yeah, but it was like a real fine point, so you could fill in the bubbles. So like when you touch it, it already starts kind of filling in the bubble. Like it's better than a pen because you have to fill in the ovals or whatever.
I always steal pens.
She's like,
everywhere I go.
She's like, is that our pen? And like when I was scanning in, I was like, oh yeah. She's like, yeah,
You
we're
should've
running
just
out.
Pocket.
Everybody else
beforehand.
Everybody else was stealing it, so she's like, we're running out of pens. Like,
Not my problem. It's a good pen.
I liked it, dude. I actually thought about taking, but
Maybe
I
if
was
you
like,
just
you know
sent us a pen.
I felt bad though when she said they're
I have a bunch of
running out.
restaurant pens, when you sign the bill.
But this one was nice. I liked it. But anyways,
So, this has been another amazing episode of Digital Cortex.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, special guest Chris.
I think I'm sick, so I'm sorry I wasn't 100%.
That's okay.
We value your input. We don't have a lot you on this podcast.
No, actually, I
Oh,
think
you know?
you're the only
I know.
woman who's
I know,
ever
'cause
been
I
on
live
the
here.
you
podcast.
should know. Come on, you would know if they walk in.
She watched it once and never again.
Well, maybe
I
you'll
live
watch this
here.
episode.
I live here. I hear you through the walls. All right. So I have been ThicccWick. That's Randomstylez.
You got it right.
Thank you again, Crystal, for blessing us with your presence here on Digital Cortex Podcast. And we'll see you later.